All right, we're out here in the family plot garden. We have Walter Battle with us, and Walter's going to show us how to plant tomatoes, because you know what?
Yes.
It is tomato planting time.
Yes, it is. I've been waiting all winter for this.
I know you have.
Yes, and I'm excited now.
All right.
And all you want to do is get here, and with tomatoes, what we like to do is plant where at least 2/3 of the plant is covered. So let me get a little bit deeper.
All right. So pretty much about the size of that little pea pot that it's in?
That's right.
Part?
And I love those biodegradable pots.
Okay.
And then you just simply put it right there. And we always have to protect against cutworms. So one way you can do that is put 2 nails by the plant if you want to do this. And that will protect it against the cutworms.
Now what does the cutworm do though?
Oh, it'll just come by and just cut that plant off, and you'll come out and you'll see all your tomato plants just laying to the side.
Okay.
So that's just a little trick you can do.
This is why they call it the cutworm.
That's
right?
why they call it the
I got
cutworm.
you.
And they will attack pepper, corn, and other items as well.
Okay.
Let's see, let's plant another one here. And with tomatoes, we try to plant at least 2 feet apart. I like to go 3 in some instances. And again, we want to dig down. Now, another thing we hear people talk about blossom end rot.
Yeah.
That's where you have a pretty tomato on top, but it's rotting on the bottom. That's a calcium deficiency. And one way you can guard against that is put an antacid tablet
Because
off in the hole.
antacid tablets are pretty much calcium based.
That's right. That's right. And then that way you'll have that down there to guard against that. And listen, let me get a little bit deeper.
Remember the old timers, would do this a lot.
Yes. And once again, we're in there. And there we go.
Okay.
That plant's ready. And then we'll just plant some more tomatoes here.
Pretty much a South's favorite, don't you think?
Oh,
Planting
yes,
tomatoes.
yes.
I think
And
everybody
again,
should do that.
At least 2/3 of the plant is covered, and there you go. Now, one of the things that I like to do is sucker my tomato plants, and that's just simply just removing some of these smaller branches. Listen, we'll take this one off too. And that will enable the plant to bear longer, bear bigger fruit, remove some of the, help it to use more nutrients. And some people even take these and they'll dig them and set those out. And they'll root.
And their root.
Yes, and come back. And those are, that's just a little technique some old gardeners use to get more tomatoes. So that's a pretty good thing to do.
All right. Well, look, let's tell our viewers the difference between determinate and indeterminate tomatoes. What's the difference?
Well, basically, determinate means that tomato variety has been, I guess, cultivated or bred to grow a certain size or, a certain length or whatever. Where indeterminate means that it can get pretty tall. I've seen tomato plants get 6-7 feet tall before.
Yeah, so have I.
So those would be your indeterminate type varieties. Some of your older varieties tend to be in that group.
Okay. And those indeterminates will pretty much go to frost.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
definitely. You'll have tomatoes all the way up to frost. I know that last year I had them up all the way up to like November 20th. And
Wow, pretty close to Thanksgiving.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I pulled all of my green tomatoes around that time because I feared a big frost. And I had fried green tomatoes at Thanksgiving.
About that.
Yeah,
So
it was a great appetizer.
So pretty good with the meal.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
And let me ask you this. So do you use a tomato cage
Yes.
for your tomatoes or some other?
Yes, I like to
apparatus or
use the
something?
cages, and you just simply just put the cage right here, and then that tomato would just grow up in that cage, and the fruit would be supported, and you won't have where it's rotting and things like that.
Okay. Now tell me this. Did you have any major problems with your tomatoes?
I didn't last year, like I said, because I know how to fix the cutworm.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my nails.
All right.
I know how to control against blossom end rot with my antacid tablets.
Okay.
Just
Calcium.
about 2 or 3 per plant would do. Just crush them up.
Okay.
And I didn't really have any problems last year.
Okay, so no blights?
No blights, not at my garden.
Not at your
It
garden?
didn't happen.
Okay.
Yes, I did get some reports of some of the late blight and all that from other gardeners. And a lot of times if you use a resistant varieties,
Right.
That's probably the best way
It is.
to combat that.
Okay. Here's something else. How about mulching your tomatoes? You think that's a good idea?
Yes, I usually do. I mulch my entire garden with straw.
Okay.
I just love using wheat straw. It's readily available, where I live,
Okay.
and it just does a wonderful job.
Okay. And it pretty much keeps, that splashing effect down, because that's
right.
where a lot of your fungal spores are pretty much in that ground.
Exactly.
In that bare ground. So
Right.
if you cover it up with some type of mulch or something like that,
That's right.
then
That
it
helps
actually
control
guards,
that.
against that. All right then, Walter, we can't wait to see what these tomatoes are going to look like later on in the season.
Oh yes, I know they're going to be delicious.
I know they are.
Yes.
Maybe you can cook some up for us.
Okay.
All right.
I will.